Hey guys, so recently I was reading and that came across the story of Cain and Abel, of course, in the Old Testament, back in Genesis, and it dawned on me that, or the question came to me, I should say, not dawned on me, of what are we offering to God? Obviously, when it comes to our sins, we don't have to give our offerings for those anymore, as the punishment of the offering was taken care of through Christ, as He was the ultimate sacrifice. But each day we are to serve the Lord. Each day we are to live our lives in a way that represents Christ. And so the question came, when it comes to that, what are we offering? Are we offering the best of ourselves, or just whatever we have, or whatever we feel like, not necessarily what we have? Obviously, if you're giving all you've got, even if it's not that great, it's going to be, there's stories in the New Testament, it's going to be accepted because it's all you've got. But how many times do we go through the day and we don't offer our best? We offer very little, or what we do offer is just, I need to read my word today, or I need to pray. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. And it's not necessarily our best, the best we can give to God ourselves. I'll start off in Genesis in chapter 4, verses 2 through 4, first sentence of verse 5, actually. It says, "Now Abel was a keeper of the sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, and Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock, and of their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard." And a lot of times people ask, well, why didn't he have regard for Cain's? What was wrong with Cain's? Well, we've got to look at Abel's first. And the fat portions that they're talking about here were and still are considered the best portions. The best, basically, if you wanted to take a sheep or a cow and butcher it, it would be the best cuts of meat, the best of the best. That was what was being offered to God, where we don't hear. It just says for Cain that he offered the fruits of the ground. Yes. And it says, and it also says Cain brought the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, whereas Abel, not only did he give the best portions, the fatty portions, it also says he gave of his firstborn. It never says anything about Cain giving the first fruits. He just gave what fruits he felt like giving. That one, he could very well, and of course I wasn't there, I don't know, but he could have very well have been, well, I'm not going to eat those portions, or that fruit, I'll just give it to God. Are you giving him your best? Was Cain giving him his best at that point, or was it just giving him what he wanted? Not what he wanted, what he wanted to give. There we go. That's the word I was looking for there, the wording. And we know we're to offer our best because in Leviticus, actually, Leviticus 22:18 through 25, it says, "When anyone of the house of Israel or the sojourners in Israel present a burnt offering as his offering for any of their vows or free will offerings." Notice that one of the things is free will offerings. In other words, they didn't have to offer it, but it was of their own free will that they offered it. Their free will offerings that they offer to the Lord, it is to be accepted for you. If it is to be accepted for you, it shall be a male without blemish of the bulls or the sheep or the goats. You shall not offer anything that has been that has a blemish, for it will not be accepted for you. And when anyone offers a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord to fulfill a vow, or a free will offering from the herd or from the flock to be accepted, it must be perfect. There shall be no blemish in it. Animals blind or disabled or mutilated or having a discharge or an itch or scabs or scabs you shall not offer to the Lord, and or give them to the Lord as food offering on that altar. You may present a bull or lamb that has a part too long or too short for a free will offering, but for a vow offering it cannot be accepted. Any animal that has its testicles bruised or crushed or torn or cut, you shall not offer to the Lord. You shall not do it within your land. Neither shall you offer as the bread of your God. Bread of your God. Sorry, I lost my spot there. Any such animals gotten from a foreigner. Since there is a blemish in them because of their mutilation, they will not be accepted for you. So even in Leviticus, the offerings were to be perfect and without blemish. And obviously, what we offer of ourselves each day is not going to be perfect or unblemished, as the Bible teaches over and over. We've all sinned, so none of us are going to be perfect. But each day, we give an offering of ourselves. And how many times is it, at the end of the day, dragging, who knows what sin you've committed, or how you treated other people, or whatnot. How many times is it first thing in the morning, before the burdens and sins of the day have been able to wear on you? How many times is it you before all of your worries and fears and possible anger or whatever you're dealing with, before all that kicks in throughout for the day? How many times is it you, first thing in the morning, when you're actually at your best, when you haven't committed any sin yet, you haven't done anything, you haven't committed sin for that day, obviously past days and things like that you have, but your best self is that first thing in the morning, before you have the worries and the burdens of the day wearing you down, before you have to worry about or go through your day thinking about, well, I've got this bill, or I've got to take care of this, or I've got to take care of that. How many times does the time that you offer to spend with God, whether it be in His Word or in prayer, how many times is it before the rest of the world gets chunking? Because we know we're going to go through our day every day. We know that the day is going to wear on us. We've got to take care of work, we got kids, we got bills, we got this, we got that, we got whatnot. And then at the end of the day, all right, God, I gave the world and my day, I gave it all of this part of myself. I'll give you what little bit I have left. Sorry, I don't have much left. It was a long, hard day. Sorry. This is what little bit I got left. Instead of doing that, why are we not offering ourselves first thing in the morning? Why aren't we giving God the first fruits of our day? We know Abel gave of the firstborn. We know in Leviticus it's supposed to be the offerings were supposed to be the perfect and without blemish, and of the first fruits and first fruits and firstborn of the flock. But then we'll give God what's left of us from the day. after the day has beat us down, instead of giving him our first fruits of the day, our right out of bed, good morning, God, here I am today. We give him what's left instead of giving him what is first. We fit him into our schedule instead of making him the start of our daily schedule. So with what I was reading here recently, I want to challenge you all, myself included, to give God our time first thing in the morning, so that we can offer him ourselves, our fruits of the day, and our time before any of that has been blemished by the sins and burdens of our day. Give him our best selves, and give him the first fruits of our day. Whatever our day has or holds for us, give him the first portion. And then the world can have whatever's left. But give him what you have first, instead of waiting till the end of the day and going, alright, God, well, it was, like I said, it was a long, hard day. Here's what I got left. It's not much, but I got a little bit left. I got a little bit left. Let me give you that. Give him the first fruits, not what you have left after the world's beat you down and burdened you. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. And until then, get out there and serve someone. Get out there and love someone. And just have a great day.